You've seen the word kawaii everywhere. On fashion, anime, TikTok, everywhere. But do you actually know what it means? Today, we're diving into what kawaii really means and what kind of person actually gets called kawaii. Most people translate kawaii as simply cute, but in Japanese culture, it means something much deeper than that. The word kawaii actually traces back to an old Japanese phrase, kawaii, which roughly means a face that glows or shines with feeling. Over centuries, it evolved into kawaii, and the meaning shifted from glowing to vulnerable, to lovable, and finally, to cute. So, at its core, kawaii is about a look that makes other people feel warmth, almost like a protective instinct. Here's something fascinating. Kawaii isn't just an aesthetic. It actually triggers a real psychological response. Scientists call it the baby schema effect. Big eyes, small nose, round face, soft features. These traits make our brains release dopamine and trigger a nurturing response. It's the same reason we find puppies and babies irresistible. A person described as kawaii often has these same soft, gentle features, or deliberately plays them up through makeup and fashion. But kawaii isn't only about looks. A person's personality and behavior play just as big a role. Someone who is shy, gentle, and a little clumsy can be called kawaii even if they don't fit a typical beauty standard. Think of a soft, quiet voice, covering your mouth when you laugh, getting excited over small things like a cute sticker or a pretty dessert. These behaviors read as kawaii in Japan. It's a kind of charm that comes from appearing harmless and warm, like someone who wouldn't hurt a fly. The Japanese word for this quality is hakanai, meaning fleeting or fragile, and it adds a layer of emotional appeal to kawaii. So who actually gets called kawaii? The answer might surprise you. It's not limited to young women. In Japan, calling a man kawaii is totally normal and even flattering. Male celebrities, anime characters, and even athletes get called kawaii when they show a gentle or playful side. It's less about being feminine and more about giving off an energy that feels warm, approachable, and non-threatening. In other words, kawaii is about emotional resonance, not gender. Now let's talk fashion because kawaii has an entire visual language built around it, and Harajuku in Tokyo is its capital. There are multiple subcultures under the kawaii umbrella. Lolita fashion uses Victorian-era dresses with lace and petticoats to create a doll-like look. Decora-style layers on hundreds of colorful accessories, clips, bracelets, toys, all at once. Fairy K uses pastel colors and 80s toy aesthetics. Each style is different, but they all share that core kawaii energy, soft, playful, and emotionally expressive. And no conversation about kawaii would be complete without talking about Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty was created in 1974 by Sanrio, and she became the face of kawaii culture worldwide. Here's the key part. Hello Kitty has no mouth. That was intentional. The designer wanted people to project their own emotions onto her face. When you're happy, she looks happy. When you're sad, she looks sad. That emotional flexibility is exactly what makes kawaii so universally appealing. Here's something most people don't know. Kawaii culture actually started as a form of rebellion. In the 1970s, Japanese teenagers started writing in a round, childlike handwriting style, using mechanical pencils. They'd add little drawings, hearts, stars, faces between words. Schools called it disruptive and tried to ban it, but banning it only made it more popular. This style became known as kawaii-ji, cute writing, and it was an early signal that kawaii was a way for young people to push back against rigid social expectations. By the 1990s and 2000s, kawaii had jumped beyond Japan. Korean pop culture absorbed and remixed it. Western fans of anime brought it home. And now, in the social media age, kawaii aesthetics dominate platforms like Instagram and TikTok globally. But kawaii culture has its critics too. Some Japanese feminists argue that the pressure to be kawaii forces women to stay small, soft, and childlike in order to be valued by society. The idea is that being too confident or assertive can get labeled as not kawaii, which in a culture that prizes kawaii can actually be a social penalty. It's a real tension inside Japanese culture that's still being debated today. Today, kawaii is evolving. There's even a subgenre called kimo kawaii, which translates to gross cute or creepy cute. It blends cuteness with something unsettling or bizarre, and it's gaining serious traction in art and fashion. So what does kawaii really mean? At its heart, kawaii is about emotional connection. It's the quality that makes you want to smile, protect, or get closer. Whether it's a look, a personality, or a cultural movement, kawaii is the art of being warmly, disarmingly human. And that's why it resonates with people all over the world, not just in Japan.